Good morning, students. Welcome to our English class this morning, and we shall continue from where we stopped the last time. Remember, the unit is about clothing and accessories. Clothing and accessories. And today we shall be paying close attention, even as we discuss about clothing and accessories. We are going to be paying close attention to a grammar part, which is the present perfect. Actually, the present perfect passive. But as we go on, you get to know exactly what we're talking about and how to form the present perfect passive. Okay, one more picture. So, this picture is something that is supposed to remind us of one thing that we did, one thing that we've done before. You know. So, what association do you recall with this picture? What does this picture remind you of? This is a picture of what? Desert, a few pyramids. What does it remind you of? Yes. Um, of course, you remember the class before this one. In the previous class, we discussed about clothing and accessories in ancient Egypt. So, of course, and when you see pyramids, what comes to your mind is Egypt, the Egyptians. So, yeah, Egyptians are synonymous with pyramids. So that should give you a little kind of remembrance about the Egyptians and their ways of style, their ways of clothing and accessories. Remember when we discussed about them, the fact that only the rich or the people in power wear shoes, others don't, and the accessories, other things that they use. Okay, so today basically we shall be looking at three main activities that we'll be doing today. We shall be working on vocabulary. We shall be working on the grammar part itself, which we do today, which is the present passive. Then we are going to do a group activity where we solve a puzzle together as a class. So, to start with, let's go with the vocabulary. Today we are going to treat vocabularies that has to do with the raw materials for making clothes. So as you can see here, we have cotton, we have wool, we have silk, we have leather, we have gold and silver, here we have plastic. All these materials or all these things are materials from which clothes are made, depending on what you want and what purpose they serve. Cloth and accessories are made from these materials. So, in order to complete this, we are going to use we're going to use these words to complete these six sentences that we have here. Of course, the first one has been done. Silk. Silk is made from fiber. Silk is made from fibers produced by silkworms. So this silk is actually made by worms. Worms are called silkworms, and it is a form of a kind of material that is used for making a specific kind of cloth. I think this picture here, if I'm not mistaken, should be a picture of a wool. A wool. Even though that is a diagram, it's not a real wool, but wool looks like that. So I mean silk. Sorry, silk looks like that. So we have cotton, we have wool, we have silk, we have leather, we have gold and silver, we have plastic, and we still have five sentences more to go. So you know what cotton is, don't you? You know what a cotton is. Cotton, I think, is the most durable or kind of materials that most of our clothes are made from. Remember, it's made from a cotton plant. Yeah. Wool, of course, is going from natural source. It's going from animals, usually, sheep. When the sheep are, their hair is removed, you can make wool from there. Silk, of course, as you've heard, is made by the silkworm. Leather, leather, of course, as you know, is also gotten from natural source. When we start making these sentences up, we will discuss about them in bits. Gold and silver, the minerals and plastic, is what? Man-made. We'll get there soon. So, two, dash is a cloth that is made from the dash plant. So, what do you think here? What do you think here is made from a plant? Of course, it's cotton. So, cotton is a cloth that is made from the cotton plant. Okay, in fact, take 5 minutes, do whatsoever permutation and research and discussion that you have to do, and make up these sentences with these words that we have here, with these vocabulary words. So after then we'll do a correction together. After that, we will come to this and have a short discussion about the differences between these two sentences here. So take 5 minutes, do this yourself. Use pencil so that in case if there is a mistake, we'll correct it together. So fill it in, take 5 and fill this in as appropriate. Okay, so I believe you're done now. Yes, here is cotton. Cotton is a cloth that is made from the cotton plant. 3. Dash comes from the sheep and other animals such as alpacas and vicunas, which is what? That is what? That is wool. Wool. Wool is from sheep and these other animals here. Dash is made from an animal's skin. Of course, leather. Leather is made from animal skin. 5. Dash is made from oil. Of course, it's plastic. Plastic is made from oil. Plastic is made from oil. Now, this might sound so um I don't know what to how to say it. This might sound so unreal to you, but when we say oil here, we mean natural oil and gas that comes from underneath the ground. There's a process that is being done on oil and gas from underneath the ground that extracts a kind of material from it, and it is polymerized and plastic can be made from it. So yeah, so it's part of how this plastic is made. Some clothes are made from plastic, just so you know. And lastly, dash are found in rocks and in the ground. That is gold and silver. Gold and silver is found in rocks and under the ground. So these are the vocabulary for today. Practice them, know how to spell them, and know how to use them. And remember, most importantly, they are materials from which cloths and accessories are made. Now let's go to the thing we have to do today, which is talking about the present passive. Now, look at these sentences. The jacket is made of linen. The jacket is made of linen. And here, linen is made from flax. The jacket is made from linen and linen is made from flax. Flax is a plant which grows in the Nile area. Now note the difference between made of and made from. Made of and made from. This jacket is made of linen. Linen is made from flax. So this is just a language tip for us to understand how the present passive is used, or how we form the present passive. This sentence here is a present passive sentence, and that is what we are going to discuss about today. What makes it a present passive sentence and how we make up a present passive sentence. That's what we'll talk about today. So let's see. Uh, yeah, present passive. So let's just read quickly how it is made. We use the present passive when we want to talk about an action, but we do not know who does it, or it is not important to say who does it. So when you want to talk about an action, but you don't want to mention who that action is from, you use the present passive. Example, plastic is made from oil. Plastic is made from oil. Silver and gold are found in rocks in the ground. So how do you make it? It's simple. Use the verb form of be and the past participle. Be here can be is or are. The present form of be is and are. So use is and are and the past participle form of a verb to form the present passive. So how do we make the present passive? You can also use words like can, should, and must with the present passive. For example, sunglasses should be worn in strong sunlight. Now, this is the part that forms the present passive. Be worn. You see, this is the present form of the verb be and the past participle worn, which is what in present tense it is wear. So this is the past participle of wear, which is one. And here we are also being told that we can use these words to form the present passive. Words such as can, should, and must. Okay, a mobile phone can be used as a torch. Both sentences here and here are all example of the present passive. Again, you can either use the present form of be, which is and are, with the past participle, or you use these words can, should, and must with be and the past participle form of the verb. Okay, now let's read in details how to form this present simple passive. So here is a quick note that is going to help us to understand and to explain in a more detailed way about the present passive. Now, this is the structure. In the present passive, you have the positive, you have the negative, and you have the question also. The positive is subject plus to be, which is the present form of the be and the past participle. Example, cakes are sold in a bakery. Cakes are sold in a bakery. Cake is the subject. To be is are. The present form of be is are, and the past participle is sold. So this is a positive sentence. Cakes are sold in a bakery. For a negative sentence is cakes are not sold in a bakery. Cakes are not sold in a bakery. And to form the question is, are cakes sold in a bakery? Are cakes sold in a bakery? So in each of these, either positive, negative, or question, you still have your present form of the verb be plus the past participle of the verb. Okay, here you have your to be, and here you have your past participle. So you have to follow all of these structures in order to make your past, your I mean your present passive, your perfect passive sentences. Okay, let's just read further and give more explanation on this. When we are discussing passive sentences, we often talk about the agent. The agent is the doer of the verb in a sentence. A passive sentence is a sentence where the subject of the sentence is not the agent. A sentence where the subject of the sentence is the agent is called an active sentence. Look at the two sentences below. The factory makes cars. The factory makes cars. Here, the factory is the subject of the sentence. The verb is makes. The factory is the thing which makes cars. So the subject is the agent, which is the factory. So, and it is the doer of the verb. This sentence is an active sentence. Remember, in the passive, we do not necessarily show who is the doer. We don't want to show who is the doer. So in a sentence where you have the doer of the action, it is called an active sentence. And in a sentence where the doer of the action is not indicated, is a passive sentence, and that is what we're dealing with right now. The cars are made. Here, the cars are the subject of the sentence, but the cars do not make. The factory is the thing which makes, but it is the object of the sentence. So the subject is not the agent. This sentence is a passive sentence. You see? Because it doesn't tell us who makes the cars. It just says the cars are made. Now, active sentences. Aisha looks at a computer. The computer is looked at by Aisha. So this is an active sentence. It tells us who is doing the action. Sardor eats candy. The candy is eaten by Sardor. This is also an active sentence. It tells us who does what. Samir writes in his notebook. The notebook is written in by Samir. These are active sentences. Let's go. Ahmed is looking at an animal. The animal is looked at by Ahmed. These are active sentences. So, the use of the passive now. We use the passive when the person or thing which does the action is not important or unknown. That's what we're dealing with. Example, the chocolate is made in Switzerland. They didn't tell us who made the chocolate. So this is passive. It is not important who or which firm makes it. This is what we're dealing with. Passive. Or if the doer is unknown, like in this example, hundreds of cars are stolen every week, but it didn't tell us who steals them. So that makes it a passive sentence also. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, or people in general. David Beckham's face is recognized all over the world. There's no specific person, yes, everyone. So that makes it also passive. If we want to say who or what is the agent, the doer of the action in a passive sentence, we use the word by. By. So in an active sentence, if at the end of the day you choose to say who the doer is, you have to introduce the word by, then before adding the name or the identity. Like in this example, all of my clothes are made by Giorgio Armani. Now this is a passive sentence, but it still mentions the name of the designer, but the word by have is attached for that to be able to happen. So the choice of whether to use active or passive usually depends on what we are more interested in. In English, we usually make the thing that we are most interested in the subject of the sentence. For example, if we were writing a newspaper article about a bakery, the bakery is the thing we are most interested in. So we will make it the subject of the sentence. Example, the bakery makes bread. The bakery makes bread. This is active. Now, however, if we were writing about a new kind of bread, then this would be the thing we are most interested in. So we'll make the bread the subject of the sentence. The bread is made by the factory. The bread is made by the factory, and now this is passive because we have introduced the word by. Okay? All right. So this is a quick explanation about the active and passive. But remember, we are concerned about the passive today. Now, here's a task for us now to do. Complete these sentences using the present passive. We are to change this now into the passive. Now, if all those talk have made you forget how to make the passive is made by using the present form of be, which is and are, with the past participle of the verb. Here, we have the verbs in bracket. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change these sentences into the present passive. 1. Wigs dash of horsehair, hair or synthetic fiber. A violin bow dash of wood and horsehair. The verbs in both cases 1 and 2 are make. Okay. 3. Diamonds dash at high temperature deep underground. The verb is form. Belt dash of leather, plastic or cotton can stroke make. Write these sentences in the present passive. And five, baseball caps and sunglasses dash in the classroom should not wear. So how do we do this? I'm giving you five, okay, 10 minutes. 10 minutes maximum. Do this, then after 10 minutes, we'll do the corrections together. You still have another work to do. So just take 5 minutes. 10 is too much. Take 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we'll do the corrections together. Let's go. Okay. So, what is the correct answer here? Wigs are made. Wigs are made of horsehair, hair, or synthetic fiber. So, this is for number one. Wigs are made. Because of the plural, you use are. The present form of the be is are. So wigs are made and past participle of make is made. Here also, I think we'll do the same thing. A violin bow is, because this is singular, a violin bow is made. A violin bow is made of wood and horsehair. Diamonds are formed. Diamonds are formed at high temperature deep underground. Okay, belt, remember we said we can use some, verbs with these passive sentences sometimes. And these are the last two examples. This last two work belongs in that category. So therefore, this will be belts can be made. Belts can be made of leather, plastic, or cotton. Belts can be made of leather, plastic, or cotton. And the last one, of course, baseball caps and sunglasses should not be worn. Baseball and sunglasses should not be worn in the classroom. So that's what I told you. These last two are examples of the later one that we did. So these are the corrections. Okay, now in pairs, we have to complete this activity. Open to your workbook where you have this activity and complete this signs with a suitable verb in the present passive. So these are signs. You have to complete these signs with a suitable verb in the present passive. So this is the work that you have to do today. Hopefully you complete it, and we'll discuss about how we are going to like the solution, I mean the correction to this. But for now, you discuss in your groups, try to find the solution to it. Just follow the instruction, okay? You complete the signs with a suitable verb in the present passive. As you can see, there are spaces that you need to complete. It should be easy for you to do if you have listened and you have followed this class closely. So this is the class today, guys. Have a good day. Take care of yourselves and see you in the next lesson.